Hello, good evening. Welcome to another edition of our 40 Days to Greatness, 40 Days to Success, 40 Days to Happiness, and most importantly, 40 Days of Making a Massive Impact. We are gearing up for our launch that is coming up on August the 1st. All right, the 40-day Greatness Challenge begins on August the 1st. So, I hope you've been having a wonderful weekend so far. Of course, it was good for me. Yesterday was a blessing. We were able to participate in worship, and we went and visited quite a few people. This morning itself was an adventurous day as well. I took my son to one of our friend's house. They have a very, a lot of properties and so forth, and they have a big grapefruit, orchard, I guess, and it's so huge. I mean, we picked almost about 10 or 12 bags of grapefruit full, and so we were able to take some to other people as well because there's no way we can eat it all. So it's been good. It's been good. It's a good way of bonding with my boy, and that was just an amazing experience for us. And my wife fed me good today, so I'm ready. I'm ready for today's presentation. I hope that you are as well. So let me just click on over here just a second. Make sure you can hear me. If you can't hear me, please let me know. Send a little chat message here. If this is your first time also, please introduce yourself so I know who we have on here. I want to welcome you. My name is Chance, U.S. Navy veteran, #1 best-selling author, and also minister. I'm the founder of both Strategic Secrets University and Monetize Your Skills Academy, where we help several types of people. One, we help professionals and entrepreneurs, and also ministry leaders who want to take their gifts and talents, their education, expertise, and experiences, and be able to turn those into products, programs, or services. And we believe that if you're able to do that in this day and age, you will be able to make a lasting impact, fund your dreams, and sustain your mission, message, or cause. If that resonates with you, you're in the right place. And if it don't, please stay around still, or share this with someone, invite someone, and so we can all participate and benefit. Okay, so I think we have some folks on there. Janet, welcome. How is everything going? Hope you're being blessed. Melissa, good to see you on this evening as well. And those who are coming on, thank you for taking your time out. Now, all the replays, by the way, we have the replays posted. If you have not had an opportunity to watch the others, I know some folks were at church, whether yesterday or today, depending on who was on. If you haven't seen them, please go back and watch Friday's replay. It's posted, but some of those will be taking them down soon. But nonetheless, I'm here today. We want to talk about two things today that are very important. Remember, we are gearing up for the next couple of days. Of course, we're going to resume our regular once a week, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central. We do come on here and we teach on different subjects, different topics that have interest to our friends and families and like-minded professionals. And but right now, our focus is we want to help you to take this challenge that we have prepared. It's called the 40-day Greatness Challenge. It is a challenge to help you achieve a major goal and make a major impact in just 40 days. We want you to be focused. We want you to be honing in on your life and make some changes that are positive for you and for others around you. Because when you make a change, when you do things that can help you, you are also helping other people. If you improve, other people will improve as well. You cannot change other people necessarily, but if you change yourself, other people will adapt to the changes that you are making. So sometimes the best way to change others is to change yourself. So I know that again, if you're struggling, and for those who may not have been on here, let me give you a little backdrop. If you want to know what type of goal to set, remember I mentioned as an encouragement, set a goal in your health, in your finances, or in your relationships or spirituality. If any of those areas of your life improves, trust me, it will have a ripple effect on all the other areas. So don't worry and dig too hard if you can't come up with something, but pick one of those areas and say, okay, In my health, what's the one thing that I can do in 40 days that will make a dramatic impact? In my relationship, what's the number one thing that I can do to really make an impact in the next 40 days? In my finances, what's the main thing that I can do to really make an impact in 40 days that if I did it consistently over time, I will be able to achieve, a level of, satisfaction and the like. We also talked about the process of goal setting. So remember, you have to have it written down. If you have not had your goal written down, please, let's take a moment and do that even right now. So I'm going to take a sip of water. Dreams without goals. I mean, if you have a dream and you don't have goals, then it's just a wish. If you have a goal but you don't have it written down, it's also just a wish, right? It's nebulous. It's out there. It's not tangible. It's not going to be realistic. It only begin to take form when you actually begin to put flesh on it by writing it down. So once you write the goal down, we say, okay, for example, in health, I want to lose 10 pounds by September the 9th or September the 10th, 2019. Okay. Next, I want to be able to enroll or finish this certification or course by September the 10th, 2019. I want to be, that's being specific about the goal that you want. I want to be able to finish reading the New Testament between now and September 10th. So that's the kind of way we're talking about. Then once you have the goal written, that's the big picture, right? That's the big picture. Now we go into hammering out the blueprint. Now we hammering the blueprint by saying, okay, step by step, how are you going to do that? So we are going to be able to say now, if the goal is to lose 10 pounds, what you can do is say, let's just say that means in 40 days, you divide that, you probably want to be able to lose, let's say 4 twos are 8, so about 2.5 pounds a week is your goal. So you should know after every 7 days or 10 days, you should be able to have lost at least 2.5 to 3 pounds. If you focus it that way, then you begin to see how you are going to make the change. If you want to read out again, like you want to read the Bible or you want to read the New Testament, you say, okay, how many books are there in 40 days? If I read so many chapters per day, I'll be able to get it done. Or if I listen to so many chapters a day, I'll be able to get it done. Whatever the case may be, you want to break it down like that because that's how things get done. Already, you have to plan, you have to organize, and once you've done that, it's just executing your plan. That's where the 40-day comes in. So you cannot participate in the 40-day challenge if you don't have the goal written down and you don't have a plan. So that's why we taking the days leading up to August the 1st so that we can do this. And so even for this thing, we have a goal, and I want you to help others. Okay, please, if this is something you think is nice and you want to do, invite a friend, invite a family, share this with somebody so they can also enroll. Okay, because what I'm looking for is 40 people to take the challenge, and these 40 people, we are all going to be able to try to impact 40 other people. So that's the ripple effect. Okay, so you're going to set a goal for yourself. That's for you. What are you going to do every single day towards that big goal? If it's losing the weight, so now that's only your focus, okay? We're not going to try to do too many things. So we're going to say every day, I need to, maybe exercise, or I need to have some smoothie or some green drink. That's going to be your daily activity. Then how am I going to help my family or bless someone that I really love that is close to me? So that could be where, maybe if you're married, you can say, I prepare, a special meal for my loved one every day, or we're going to take a walk together for 10 minutes every day, or we're going to have 1 hour of uninterrupted conversation every single day for 40 days. Think of what that will do for any relationship. That will be such an amazing thing. Okay. Oh, give me a second. Whoa, I'm actually presenting here and my computer is not plugged in. The last thing we want to have is we just disappeared off the screen. So give me 1 second. Alrighty. So where were we? Okay, yes. So once you have the plan, we are moving, we are making progress. So 40 days is consistent action every single day. If you do those things, trust me, it's gonna be amazing. Now, let me put this up on the screen for those of you. If you have not yet registered, I encourage you to register. Again, We put a price on there. It's 40 bucks, which is $1 a day, okay, to enter the challenge, because we're going to be giving away prizes and so forth. Every 10 days, there's an assessment. You can gain points every day. You open the emails, you take action, you'll be able to gain points. And the software tracks all of that, so you don't have to worry. So you can get t-shirts, you can get books, you can get videos, you can get courses, all of those type of things. And so we just try to make it a little fun, but it's just a challenge. It's just something to get you going. So I participate in a whole bunch of challenges myself. Okay, I love taking challenges. So I think this is something that just gets you focused for a period of time in achieving success or doing something awesome. So let's talk a little bit about why this is important. Okay, because again, we all have different mindsets. Okay, but the thing is, life is short. And sometimes we do think we do have a lot of time. What I've realized is that there are many things that we want to do in the heart, okay? And I feel I've done so many funerals now. I've visited so many people who are sick. I've seen so many people dying. What that has taught me now, yes, I'm not yet 40. I'm going to be 40 in September. That's why I'm also starting this 40-day challenge now, 40 days leading up to my birthday. But the thing is, for me, one of the things that I've come to accept and realize is this. It's not so much of how long you truly live, it's how you live with the few years you've been given. If you notice, many of our great leaders now, again, it's great to live long, all right? It's good to live long. But there are many people who made such a great impact in this world who did not even live a long life, okay? When you think of even Jesus, okay, that people, okay, Jesus was a young man pretty much compared to many standards, but look at the impact that he made in such a short period of time. Steve Jobs made a very powerful impact, and he was still fairly young, right? He didn't even get to 60 years old. When you think of Martin Luther King, right? Again, died very, very young, but look at the way he was able to be used in such a marvelous way, because it's the quality of life that you've lived. Mahatma Gandhi, all of these people can make an impact. And I want to be able to encourage you that we don't have to wait until we are this age or that age to do something significant. So whether you're old or young, but the point is that you want to maximize your time, right? Psalm 90 verse 12 says, teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Teach us to number our days in the fact that teach us to be cognizant that the fact that our days are limited, and help us to live wisely by maximizing each day, right? Solomon says in Ecclesiastes that do all that you can while you're alive, because when you go to the grave, there's no work, there's no device, there's nothing there. So enjoy life, enjoy the wife of your youth, enjoy relationships. You know, he said, put a little bit of cologne on you, smell good, look good. So that's part of living. So some people are not living, and so they, you know, when we are sick and when we are dying, what happens is now all the regrets come in. All the regrets come in. Now I don't want to have so many regrets when it's my time. Okay, I want to be able to say, Lord, you've given me however many amount of years. If you want to take me now, that's your business. But thank you so much, because you've given me life and I've done X, Y, and Z, and I've enjoyed it to the max. So that's why sometimes there are things that I don't do because there are other things I'm trying to do. So you have to think of the kind of legacy you want to leave behind. And that's one of the things that today I want you to think about. So to help you plan again, think about it. 2019, we are pretty much about to end the 7th month and moving into the 8th month. There are only 5 more months in the year. What significant thing have you done with your life in the first 7 months of this year? What's significant? Can you point to something tangible that you can say, this year I was so intentional and focused. Look at all the fruit that has been produced in this particular area. Look at this one thing or that thing or all of these impact and so forth that you've done. Can we point to that? You see? So someone says, and I say this at funerals as well, you know, God gave us life. That's his gift to us. The way we live our life is our gift back to him, right? Because he has given us free will and choice. So he's saying, Chance, I've given you life, I've given you time. As a good steward, how are you going to use and maximize your time? And what are you going to become? He's not holding anybody back. Like, you can literally become whatever you want. God is not holding anyone back from becoming anything. He allows people to be doctors, lawyers, engineers, pastors, teachers, missionaries, stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads, all of these different things. Whatever it is that you choose to do with your life, God can use that and you can be a blessing to him. You don't have to try to be somebody that you are not, but whoever you choose to be and decide to be, and whatever you choose to do with your life, with your time, do it to the best of your ability. So that's what he says. Work diligently. Do the best that you can do. Whatever your hand find to do, do it with all your might. Colossians chapter 3. Do it with all your might. Why is he saying that? Because you are giving it as a gift of service to God. If you write, write well. If you sweep, sweep well. If you serve, serve well. If you lead, lead well. Whatever you do it with all of your might. Are you doing that? We procrastinate. We put off things that we know we need to do, and time just keeps going. Time just keeps going. And before you know it, we look back. What have I done this year? What have I done with my life so far? And so we've all had that, you know what I mean? I try to do as much as I can, but of course there are things that I miss. I miss the ball too myself, miss opportunities. And so, but that's why I like to focus for periods of time to get stuff done, because we know that there's sometimes when other stuff comes up and you're just in a, kind of in a lax mood. So for me, especially when inspiration hits, I love to get a lot done because, we all get out, we go in the zone and out the zone. So when inspiration hits you, go ahead and do all that you can do with that moment. Okay. So think about the legacy you want to leave. That's what we're talking about today. What will be your legacy for this year? And what is the legacy you're trying to leave behind? If you can answer that question, what's going to happen is this. Based on the legacy you want to leave behind, it will determine how you live each day. I found that to be true. It's just like a company. When a company has a mission or a vision statement, it dictates how they run that company, because this is the vision of where we're trying to go. So it's the same thing. Jesus, when he came to this earth, he had a mission and he had a vision. And that dictated how he lived his life. There were some things that he did, and there were many things that he did not do. But he noticed he was not distracted from his goal. He said over and over, my will is to do the will of him that sent me. My meat is to do the will of the Father. I came not to do mine own will, but I came to do the will of the Father. I came not to be ministered unto, but to minister to others and give my life a ransom for many. That was the purpose of his life. Nothing else deviated him from that one goal. And then, even when he was dying, you notice what he said? It is finished. Lord, I have done what you have asked me to do. Receive my spirit. And so that's it. He had nothing else, no other agenda but the redemption of mankind, and he stick with that focus. He did not allow anything to deviate it from his course. And not only that, he only had 3 years. Right? Of course, once he grew up, but he only really had 3 years to really make that type of an impact. So that's the focus. So it didn't matter if Jesus lived to see 40, 50, 60, even 100 years or 1,000 years. What happened is, with those short 33 years, Jesus was able to make a powerful impact with his life, because he chose to do certain things and not to do other things. So it's like we call in business, you have something, what they call that now? Opportunity cost, right? Opportunity cost means by participating in one opportunity, you are letting go of another one. So in other words, by choosing this, I'm saying that I don't want this. I give up this. So that's what we are saying. So by saying I want to be healthy, you are saying I don't want to be unhealthy. By saying you want to be unhealthy by eating the wrong things, you are saying you don't want the kind of body that you're desiring. So that's why it also says in James 1 that a double-minded person is unstable in all their ways, because on one hand, we pray one way and live another. I pray to be healthy and I do everything else unhealthy. I pray to have good marriage and then you do everything to destroy your marriage. I pray to have money and then I do everything to mess up my money. So that's praying one way and believing and acting another way. And that's double-mindedness. That's not faith, by the way, folks. That's not faith. So what you want to do is get serious and write down clearly, what are you going to do for the rest of this year? What are you going to do with the rest of your life? What purpose, what thing do you want to accomplish? What are some goals and visions and dreams? God is concerned about all those things too, by the way. Sometimes we get hung up thinking it's only a spiritual thing, but no, God is concerned about your marriage, your children, your finances, your health, anything, your dreams and goals and desires. He says, I'll give you the desires of your heart. But sometimes we don't even know what the desires of our hearts are, because we only look at things from one narrow perspective. So I want to broaden your horizon by focusing on the legacy. Do you want to leave a legacy for your children? Do you want to leave a legacy for your grandchildren? Matter of fact, as God's people, we actually are commanded to leave a legacy even for 3 generations after us. So he said, for your children, a righteous man, he says, leaves an inheritance for his children and his grandchildren. That's 3 generations. And so at least we have to be thinking generationally. So that's what I'm saying is, and I haven't always had that type of mindset, but more and more as I go about and I read the scriptures, that's a prayer that that I pray now, and I ask God, I want to live in such a way, not just for me, but I want to think about the next generation. And that's partly the reason why I also write books. I don't just write books for everybody. I write books because these are the knowledge and instructions that I want my family to have, so they will know these are the things that Chance believed in. These are the things that he valued. And these are the nuggets of truth that he has found. And so I'm putting them in the book. Whether or not they read it now is their business. But when by and by, if they want to be able to know how to be healthy, these are the books that are considered to be healthy. So that's how I kind of organize my bookshelf as well, right? On the top, we have business, finance books. In the middle there, we have all faith-based books, spiritual book. Okay, down here is all health, because those are some of the main important areas, right? Physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, and all those type of things. So I have so many different ideas to still get out of there, but that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. For me, that's how I plan to also leave a legacy, is with my intellectual property, intellectual knowledge and ideas. You can think about, again, you might not even see it this way, but this is one of the reasons why pretty soon I'm going to be teaching, by the way, more and more people how to really write and why you should write. For example, God had this big vision, this big dream, but he left it in a book, in the Bible. Right? All the patriarchs and prophets, we would not know what they believed in, what they valued, and what God spoke to them had they not written. You see the purpose of that? God loved us, but how would we know? I mean, he left the book for us, right? How do we know what the Apostle Paul did and the miracles that he did? He chronicled it, he wrote it down, right? Spirit of prophecy, some folks talk about that too. All of those books, we can read them today. You know why? Because someone sat down and they decided that they're going to write and they're going to leave. So I encourage you to journal, and get a journal and start chronicling your 40-day experience every day. Write something. Okay, a lot of these things over here I think I shared with you, these are all my journals. Okay, so let me show you some. Right? Journal here, look, prayer journal, wisdom journal, right? You guys have seen this. This was early in the day, since in the Navy, right? I still have this, since in the Navy, writing all of that stuff. What would Jesus do? A journal again. Walking with God, journal. And all of these are filled, by the way, what I'm showing you, all of them are filled, right? There we go, leadership journal, right? All filled up with knowledge, information. Some of these I go back, I get ideas for writing book, giving talks, and doing business or ministry. All of these are all ideas, right? Some of them are way old, okay? But you are chronicling. For example, let me just randomly open. This one here is, okay, it's talking about running your own race, okay? And then 2011. We are in 2019 right now. So how many years ago is that? About 8 years ago. Can you imagine? 8 on 1 is 9, yeah? So let's pull another one randomly. I'm just trying to show you, not to impress you, but to impress upon you why these are the type of things that we need to do. 3/6 or 3/16, 2004, right? 2004. We still have those kind of information there. So, I mean, I'm just showing you why you have to begin to chronicle your life. All of these are the miracles and the blessings of God by putting yourself to a timeline, 40 days, right? You see, we have a book over here called 40 Days of Prayer, or 40 Days of this and 40 Days of that, right? People have to challenge themselves because we are too busy. We have too many things going on, and we lose focus or whatever, right? Whatever comes today, I'll do. We should plan our day. We should organize our day. Even before the day starts, we should say, that's a principle I learned. And you know what? I learned that actually when I was doing mission work. When I first started out as a missionary, And I actually paid to learn that. I had a coach. Imagine that. Yeah, I had a coach, a professional coach that I was paying. And one of the secrets he gave me, he said, listen, what you want to do is you want to be able to, you call it PTT, plan tomorrow today. I remember it up to this day. Okay. And by the way, yeah, this was the coaching program that I had done, right? Brian Tracy's Platinum Mentoring Series, way back when. This was a long, long time ago. But my coach taught me the habit of, you know, Chance, I want you to plan each day. Now, I was doing it consistently for a while, and of course, like everyone, you fall off, but I still remember it. It's even in my book here, Strategic Secrets, about a secret of being able to achieve goals is by planning tomorrow today. So, in other words, each night before you sleep, you get a pen, a piece of paper, or now you can put it in your phone, your iPad, whatever have you, and you plan out what are the most important things I have to do tomorrow. Now, by God's grace, and that also programs your mind. Now, you're actually giving yourself a reason to get up tomorrow. So, by saying that by tomorrow, I need to accomplish these things. Now, when you get up the next day, of course, you can revise it, but you are saying, these are what I need to get done by tomorrow. So, plan tomorrow today. So, prepare for the 40-day challenge now. Don't wait until August the 1st to get prepared. Now, here's one exercise, even here. It says, that's why I'm telling you about goals. Dream big. This was page 2. This was the very beginning. Okay. It says list your 101 goals as they relate to your different areas of your life: personal, family, finances, career, health, education, social, and spiritual. Imagine that, right? Way back when. And some of these I've already checked off many. And let's see how many I have written down. Yeah, I had up to 101 goals that were written down here. So I'm telling you, and you notice that, yeah, today is 2019, but I still keep these things. Why do I do that? Even though there have been many, many years, I still keep them because this is the trend of the life where God has taken you. So you can always look back and see, God, how are you leading me? So not many things change. And so that's why, because Habakkuk also says, write the vision, make it plain, but it is for a time to come. So some dreams that we have are not going to be accomplished right now. But as long as you're moving in the direction, see, but that's why you got to write it down. Because sometimes if it stays in our mind, we just forget about it and we pass over it, or we become impatient. But once I write down my goals, like for example, I can go back now and look at these 101 goals and I say, okay, well, that one I can work on that one this year or next year, because some of them are short-term goal and some of them are long-term goal within the next 3, 5, 10 years and so forth. So you want to be able to, so for example, here's one crazy one I'm just sharing with you, and I prioritize them. My A list, which is the most important. B, C list. Okay, so these are some things where, you know what, God, if you bless me, it's fine, but if not, it's okay. So I know sometimes that's not the way to pray, but that means these are some of the goals that you have and desires, but they're not really the top priority. So here are some C goals. Okay, so A, B, C. So some C ones. These are things that I definitely want to do. I would love to do. Okay, but I don't go and push out of my way to necessarily get them done. So look at some things where I'm telling you, you don't have to be, so hang up about it. Fly in a Navy fighter jet. Now, I was in the Navy, right? But I was mainly dealing with ships and so forth, and I never really got to go on a fighter jet. So one of the goals I have is I would love to actually fly in a Navy fighter jet. Okay, and also submarine as well. So I was my first ship. It was actually a submarine tender, but I never went on a submarine. Submarine tenders are the ships that actually fix the submarines and supply you the submarine. But whenever they pull up, of course, I'm busy, I'm working or whatnot. So, but and so that means I have a goal that one day I want to be able to take a little ride on a submarine. Okay, so that's one of the stuff. But other things we have, for example, that were high priorities: sponsor 7 missionaries overseas, right? Help my family members become debt free. Have a house on my property for my mom, and those type of things. And write books on how to be successful. Look, but all of those have been completed. Write at least 3 bestseller books. You see that this was written so long ago. One of my goals was to write 3 books. Okay, 3 best-selling books. But now I've published over 10 books. 10 books already, and 8 back-to-back #1 best-selling books. So this goal has, of course, been, but if I never wrote it down, you see, I probably wouldn't have had that, continuous goal and drive to make that happen. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm telling you. You got to have your dreams. So even here, this is a very big stuff here. Some goals and dreams are in that as well. So I'm just giving you an example, okay? One example is better than 1,000 precepts and 1,000 explanations. So at least I'm giving you some stuff out of my life. I'm not the guru. I'm not the best of the best, but at least I have done quite a bit, and I push myself as much as I can by God's Spirit to accomplish what He wants to accomplish. And you can do the same. And I'm telling you that one of my secrets is by taking challenges, okay? Challenges. Again, I've taken health challenges. I've taken challenges to complete degree programs and certificate programs in a certain time frame, and all of this stuff. Like, was it three years ago or so when I was doing this? We were taking the 100-day challenge. Again, I normally do in the 100 days. For our community of faith, though, we do 40 days because most people can easier connect with 40 days, right? Because it's written all throughout the Bible and the scriptures. So, but while I was doing this here, this is my so this is my master's thesis, which actually became a book. But when I was doing that master's degree, I mean, there's so many things that were happening with church, with that, doing overseas, all of the stuff, interviewing successful people, millionaires and other people. And it was an exciting time, but I was like, okay, we're going to get this done in that time frame, because of course too, I was taking a while to actually complete that degree program. But by the end of it all, because it was so driven, so focused, I was able to publish a book, publish an online course, graduate with a 4.0 GPA for this master's project, okay, and do all of that within a short period of time, because I was on a deadline, in the sense of having a challenging myself that this is what we're going to do. So a lot of the things that you see here that's what we do, because again, we all get busy. I have stuff to do myself, okay? You have to do many things. I have people overseas that contact me all the time. I take off and put on, WhatsApp and different stuff like that, because sometimes, we have a group of pastors here too, and they all communicate with WhatsApp. And I told the leader, I said, man, I don't want to have WhatsApp on my phone, because when I put WhatsApp on my phone, I get many, many people from overseas that keep contact you, sending you messages, sending you forwards. I gotta focus. I can't be disrupted by all of those things. So sometimes I have to take it off and then put it back on. And so that's what I'm saying, is that I find that to get the things done that matters, I must schedule a time or a challenge or a time frame. Otherwise, it's just the regular busyness and routine of life, which is part of life. We got to do that, right? You got to take care of family. You got to do that. You got to pay bills. Got to go to school. Got to go to church. Got to go to work. Got to do all these things. Those are the routines of life. So how do we manage the routine of life while also accomplishing the dreams and goals and vision that God has given to you, right? Because once you set it, for example, most people have a job, like we get settled in that job, okay? But that is not necessarily the big wise and big dreams that are in our hearts, right? So because we're already settled. At one point that was, because when you go to school, you went to college, you said, I want to become, X, Y, and Z. So that was the dream. You were working towards it. But now when we achieve the dream, that's how human nature, we settle. And people get in the groove, and then middle age crisis is basically that sets in, where people now hate their job, hate their boss, and their life is miserable, and they don't want to change. And because again, we get settled. Same thing happens in relationship, right? Guys, especially, we're notorious for that, right? You get the lady, you get married, you were chasing her before because it was a dream, it was a goal. We are built that way, to push, to achieve, to go after things. But once you've achieved them, well, what's next? Well, you set a bigger goal. But that's why we say stretch goal. So legacy goal. So my goals now is, so I'm pretty comfortable in life. Got a wife, got a house, got a kid, so there's not much you really need. I'm cool. I don't really need a lot of things, right? I grew up in poverty, so all of this, everything else is extra blessing. So I know I don't have to have a whole lot of things. Material things don't really motivate me. But what I want to do, what motivates me is impacting lives, helping people, transforming people's lives, building institutions and legacies and things that can outlive me and that can contribute to the world. Because we always say the world is dark, the world is evil, the world is this. Well, we can all make a difference. You cannot change everybody, but if you help touch one person's life, you've done a whole great of good. And so that's really what I want to focus on. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, I find for you it might be different, but what I found, okay, writing books are things that outlive people, right? You go to school, you got to use books. Whatever you do, you got to use books. You go to church, you read books, you read hymnals. All of those were music. All of those too are writings. Those are things that people, that's the intellectual property. But it outlived them. Think about it. Fanny Crosby, who wrote all that songs, she was blind. She died many years ago. And guess what? We're still singing her songs today. That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. That's generational legacy. Okay? Institution, the same thing. You see, Dr. Cooper, if some of you know her, but she's part of our community here. We help her publish her books. And, right now we went to Ghana together and she's working on building a hospital over there. I was on her show 2 weeks ago talking about that vision because, again, building a hospital is a legacy because it will outlive her, it will outlive me. If God, if this thing doesn't wrap up, guess what? That hospital will be able to save many lives. That hospital will be able to employ many people. That hospital will be able to be a change in a community, transform an entire community. So that is what I'm talking about. Generational legacy, generational wealth. By the way, that is something you can do in the next 40 days. Right? In the next 40 days, you can find charities and nonprofits to say, okay, what nonprofit and a project even get behind this one? You can go to Faithful Path International and spend some money, give a little donation to say, hey, I'm going to help build this hospital with my little donation. Okay, because it's going to go a long way. So because now you're helping to build a legacy, that's a good thing. So whatever that hospital does, you have a part to play in that. So I helped the organization with my prayer, and even when I was on there, as soon as I got off the show, I myself I went and pulled out my stuff and I gave a donation also because it's not only about I'm trying to see how I can make a blessing everywhere. So I don't have the worst world of money. I'm not the richest person. So, but here's the thing: I know that my contribution went a long way and it's going to go a long way. And that's the kind of legacy that I'm talking about. So in 40 days, that's what I'm trying to do. Beginning August the 1st, every day I'm going to be working on one aspect of my own personal life and goal, which again, part of the thing I want to do is I want to release a new book by my birthday. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on, fixing up my manuscript and getting it ready for publication. The next thing is I want to help my son. He has a goal. I want him to know how to swim. We're going to help him with that. And every day, by God's grace, I also want to help somebody outside, meaning I'm going to try to encourage somebody, write letters, old-fashioned way to, walk with some funds that maybe on the street when I meet someone who is homeless or begging, I can go and help them and give them a meal. It doesn't have to be publicized, but it can be something that those are the kind of stuff that we want to be able to do. I will go volunteer. Yes, I know we have stuff. My church does stuff, but I mean, me personally, I have to do my own personal ministry as well. So one of the things, maybe one day I'll go and volunteer at another, maybe a homeless shelter or Goodwill or somebody else's food bank, right? One of our church, they have a food bank, but I'm going to go to maybe somebody else's food bank and volunteer. But every day, my goal and desire is to see how I can bless somebody else. So while I'm working on my own goals, how can I make an impact? And those are the little things, my friends, that truly it does your heart well. It does your heart well. So I think that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, you can post them. I'll take questions. So let me just take another moment and I'm going to break down what the program is all about again. So any questions? All right. If you want to go to the website, you can go to strategicsecrets.com/challenge. Did I spell that correct? strategicsecrets.com/challenge, or right below your screen, if you're on a mobile device, it has a button there, okay, with a picture, 40-day greatness challenge. You click on there, Go over there, enroll, please enroll, and share that link. By the way, share that link or copy it here. Send a text. Say, hey, I'm thinking, oh, I'm participating in the 40-day greatness challenge that starts August the 1st. Do you want to participate? We're looking for 40 people to take this 40-day greatness challenge to impact 40 people's lives. Simple, right? 40-40 plan. 40 people, 40 days, and 40 lives touched or impact. So if we do that, imagine if 40 people were to do that and impact 40 people's life, we would have touched 1,600 people in a matter of just 40 days. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So that's all I have for today. And I hope that you are blessed. Again, I'll be on here tomorrow. This week, we're going to be on now Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, every day at 4 o'clock. Okay, we're going to be talking about different things, different aspects. So today, my goal was about helping to encourage you to set or think about your legacy, what it is that you want to accomplish at the end of this year, and what are you going to do in the next 40 days. Get a little clarity on that. Thinking specifically about the brevity of life and the importance of maximizing, the time that God has given to you. So here's a question. Now, this is not to scare you, but this is again to force us to begin thinking about what's most important. Because we want you to set not just generic goals. I want you to set a goal that is a major goal. Major meaning if you achieve it, it's going to ripple effect in other areas of your life that is very important to you. Okay, not just to say I set a goal. So here's some way to look at it. Let's just put it this way. So we set in 40 days greatness challenge, but let's just say, God forbid, but let's just say in the next 40 days, you show that you will pass away. In the next, not 40 days, so you have at least 45 days. So if we have a 40-day greatness challenge, but in 45 days, you will pass away. What will you want to do in the next 40 days? That's one way of being able now to say, okay, really, if that were the case, then I know I can't do all these things, but I'm going to do this one thing. You follow me? You follow me? So that's not also pronouncing an early death. Some people get those kind of things. No, that is talking about identifying what's truly valuable and important to you. Okay, we have to be pinpointing those things. Okay, so and that's a question that sometimes is a very tough one. But I know that because other people have asked me, if you 7 days or 7 weeks, and what would you do? And so I've tried to say, well, wow, I think all this other stuff is important, but boy, if you only give me 7 weeks, a whole lot of that wouldn't be important. So, because I know, for example, if I only had let's say, this year and that was it, there's a lot of stuff I stopped doing right away. You follow me? I stopped doing right away. There are places I wanted to see, and I'm like, listen, at least here in the U.S., I'm hoping next year, for example, we already took our vacation, but I really wanted to go to the Noah's Ark and the Creation Museum in Kentucky. So I didn't get that, but let's say somebody tell me that this year is it. Boy, I find a way to get out to Kentucky to see the Noah's Ark and the Creation Museum, because that will be an important thing to do with my family. You see what I'm saying? So that's the kind of stuff. But so it means that everything else will be pale in comparison. You see? So now I'm just saying, okay, but here you have a whole lot of things on your table. But when you say, okay, you only have this amount of time, now I don't care about all those other stuff. Those other stuff doesn't mean much at all anymore. Now that's what I want to do. So that's today's question to wrap up what we spoke on, this idea of legacy. If you only have 45 more days, how would you spend it? What would be the most important goal for you to accomplish? Can you find something that can be done in your life in the next 40 days? Alrighty? I wish you all the best. So again, go to strategicsecrets.com/challenge. Share this on Facebook if you can. Send it in a message, send it in a text, an email, whatever have you. Invite somebody. It's very simple. 40 days, 40 people taking the challenge, 40 other lives being impacted. If we do that, I think that this would be awesome. But not only that, trust me, you would feel good knowing that at the end of 40 days, man, it took me all year, 7.5 months to do this stuff, and only in 40 days I got it done. That's a great feeling. That's a great feeling. So I'm with you. If you have any questions, if you need any help, clarity, please do so. For those of you who may need prayer, we have a Facebook group online, Prayers That Move Heaven. So you can go to Facebook/ groups and go to Prayers That Move Heaven and enroll in that group. It's free, of course. You just sign up, but you must be willing to pray for others as well. And we believe in prayer, and so we want to be able to pray. This group, this challenge will help you to do more than pray, because once you pray, God is going to put you to work. Alrighty, that's it. strategicsecrets.com/challenge. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central. Don't miss it. God bless you. Bye bye.